Our second group match in group number 1. It'll be England versus the Republic of Ireland. We'll please welcome first Team England, Tony O'Shea, Gary Thompson, Scott Waits, Martin Atkins and Glenn Durant. Team England! And their opponents, the Republic of Ireland, Sean McGowan, Terry McNulty, Jason Cullen, Glenn Spearing and Jason Berry, the Republic of Ireland. And as you all know now, 2 men will remain on stage. It'll be Tony and Sean to stay on stage. So we're going to say goodbye for now to Gary, Scott, Martin, Glenn, Terry, Jason, Glenn and Jason. And your referee for this match, Mr. Marco Meyer. Well, joining me for commentary, Richard, Ashdown. Oh, Richard, England defeat the Republic of Ireland. Give me your hints. How can the Republic of Ireland win this match?
The Republic of Ireland have to come out like Northern Ireland did in the first match. They started really well, didn't they, against England? Put them under a bit of pressure in the early stages. In this format, even though you play it 1 leg at a time, of course, and the rotation, it is like you're all one player and the momentum builds up. Once you get 4 or 5 ahead, we've seen players, the teams just move away. We've seen it with both England and the Netherlands. So, key thing is, in a 25-leg match, stick in there early.
And what we saw with Northern Ireland is, especially 2 of the players, played really well in the beginning of that match. They won their legs, but the other 3 didn't put legs on the board. They played all right, but they didn't put legs on the board.
This is where England have such an advantage, the strength of their squad. You know, they could have brought another 5, 6 players with them that would vie for places against the current 5 that are playing.
It's the second match of England, this one, and they've made a change in the lineup. James Wilson is sitting this one out, and Glenn Durant is in. I talked to the England team manager. He said, well, we just said we didn't to one another, 59. All the players are going to be playing in the group phase, so it doesn't mean anything, does it, that James is going out?
No, and I think if you look at the squad as a whole, Glenn and James are the what we will call junior members of the team. Not talking about their ages, of course, but you know, so I think it's probably the right thing to do that they're the 2 that rotate in this group phase. 54. James Wilson was fantastic in the first match. As were they all. It's great to see Tony O'Shea here.
60. England to require 148.
Playing the captain's role. He wants to keep the boys motivated on and off the hockey.
Well, he didn't lose a leg in the first match, so
25.
The role suits him so far.
Absolutely. I think we put him off there, Jacques. Sean, a solid player for the Republic of Ireland for many years.
123.
These two, the most experienced on each of their teams.
55.
He would have loved to get a treble on the 18 there to leave double 16. Didn't get it, so it's McGowan now, 137. He won't finish it, but a handy 97 would put the pressure on England.
82. England to require is 68.
So treble 20 for double 4. 16 and double 16. Tony's been hitting these.
52.
Not this time, quite a way off.
Ireland to require 55.
You can hear the roar from the Irish on the other side. Come on, Sean. Get us on the board quickly.
Yeah, there's game shot in the first line for Ireland.
And they've done exactly that. But that's the thing about this format and the way that the room is set up here. When you have the two practice boards just either side of the stage,
Second leg.
it's not about
for
anybody
England,
else
Gary
cheering you on, it's your own
Thompson,
team.
for Ireland,
And that's what I love about it.
McNulty.
It is really, we keep saying it, we keep emphasizing it, but it is a team effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not, if you're winning, it's easy, but it's the player that doesn't win his legs, you got to keep him in your team as well.
Absolutely. If you play, you have to play it as if you're one player. You know, if you're up there on your own and you have a bad leg, you have to pick yourself up for the next one. Well, you do that as a team, don't you? If one of your players has a bad leg, the rest of you have to lift him. Yeah. And we keep trying to put the message across about how exciting and enjoyable this format is. And that's the reason why. It's the team spirit and the vibe that you get in this kind of format. You don't get it in any other type.
Now, we always go on and on about this, but we really, really like this format, the round-robin format.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow is when it really kicks in because all the games are knockout. So when you reach the target, you finish. In the group stage, they're going to play all legs. So we've obviously had a couple of games that have run away, so they fall a bit flat. I'm hoping that this one goes close. I don't want to be walking up on stage to referee the second half and it be 11-1.
60.
And to be honest, it's all about Ireland, keeping it close.
I don't think it'll be 11-1 when I get on stage. I think England will win at least 2 legs.
81.
Yeah, I had a couple of tweets in about the flags on our table.
49.
That the Netherlands flag had been there for far too long, so we have made a change. The flag's now more popular than the tulip. For a change.
So we got the Irish flag in now.
We've actually had a few suggestions on Twitter of where we should put that tulip, Jacques, and some of the suggestions can't be repeated.
60.
Including the one from Bobby George. We say no more.
That says it all. But remember, if you want to join the conversation on Twitter, use the hashtag 6Nations2013. And as you've heard from us, there's a lot of very prominent players and other darts followers also joining in the conversation. So don't hesitate to ask us questions or to just talk to one another about this tournament. It is a way to get to know each other across the world as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, and that's something that you and I have both had the pleasure of doing throughout the past few years, travelling to the European Cups, the World Cups. We've refereed together, we've MC'd together, so it's quite enjoyable now to commentate together. So we've ticked 3 boxes now. We've also done a bit of spotting, haven't we?
Now we have to still play, maybe on stage together.
Maybe the head-to-head won't make the live stream.
It'll make a long stream.
40.
So if you've got any questions from our Dutch expert here, Mr. Jacques Nieuwlaat, or indeed a little stato that is myself, that's how you get in touch.
58.
At NDB Darts, hashtag 6Nations2013. In the meantime, Gary Thompson quietly getting on with things. As we talk about tweets, he nails the double top. Very consistent player for England. Another player that really likes this format, Gary Thompson.
He's like the silent force, isn't he? Because also in the first match, he just gets the legs.
But he's like that in general. I mean, he reached 2 Lakeside quarter-finals, and you hardly noticed he was there.
Very good player, though.
Yeah,
I don't know him very good. What can you tell us about him?
Well,
It's from Yorkshire, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I was just going to say.
They just seem to be producing players at random.
Yeah, they always talk about the production line of talent from the Netherlands. We can say that about Yorkshire. I mean, in this squad alone, we have Scott Waits, Martin Atkins, James Wilson and Gary Thompson, all from the same county.
The only difference between Holland and Yorkshire is our players are a bit younger, I think.
That's true. They breed them well in Yorkshire, like a lot of experience. 3 world champions now from Yorkshire, of course. We've Scott Waits, the reigning champion. We've had Dennis Priestley, John Walton, and I'm sure Scott won't be the last.
No, you could be very right. Especially if you look at this squad, James Wilson, who's only been on the international circuit seriously for about a year. So
I'm really pleased for both Glenn Durrant and James Wilson. They are the 2 men that have had people talking within the BDO about how well they've been playing. They've done really well in the England Darts Organisation events, and now they're both going to travel the circuit. So looking forward to seeing them both at Lakeside. I'm certain they will both be there. You know, I don't want to put them under any more pressure, but...
Well, on stage now, Scott Waits for England, the Lakeside World Champion, and Jason Cullen, the Irishman that went to Lakeside as well this year.
Yeah, came through the international playoffs. But Scott Waits, we must applaud that achievement of becoming Lakeside World Champion. I don't know about you, Jacques, but I always had him on that list of it's a case of when is he going to win it rather than if.
Yeah, of course. It is such a big talent, and sometimes there's that one tournament that just doesn't seem to suit you, and it looks for quite some time that Lakeside might be Scott's tournament where he couldn't just hit that top form.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, winning it this year, but it was, of course, his first semi-final that he'd reached in the past 6 years.
And you wouldn't believe that if you'd say that on forehand, would you?
I think now he's won it. That won't be his last.
No.
But such an assured winner, a World Masters champion, a Grand Slam of Darts champion. And it's great for the BDO to have a player to really shout about on the overall scene. Christian Kiss came on the blind side, won it as a qualifier. People weren't sure if he was the real deal. We talked about him in the last match, about his talent. Scott Waits, there's no doubt about how good he is.
Oh, no, not at all. Very nice throwing action. 2 treble 18s here. He's going for, and double 18 for a 144.
Yeah,
Oh, that's always great. When we talk about a player, how good he is, and then he shows it on stage. A 144 from Scott Waits brings him England 2-1 in front.
He couldn't have timed that any better, could he? Absolute class from the Lakeside World Champion. He's in the shot behind us. Well done, Scott. Sorry, I sounded like an England fan there. I must calm down.
Well, you're allowed a little bit of England fan.
You guys
I've sat with 2 Dutch fans already as well.
And you guys have been, you know, more than partial, shall we say. We'll try and stay neutral in this next one.
It's Martin Atkins playing Glenn Spearing.
Well, Martin Atkins, for me, I haven't seen the averages, but he looked like the player of the first match.
Well,
180s in nearly every leg he played.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I did the first England match as well, and I said before he came on first, that he always seems to be playing really, really well in this format. Also on the Europe and World Cups. It just seems to suit him.
It amazes me how this can suit any player. It must be the most difficult format of darts to play as an individual.
Yeah, but he can get geared up for one leg very good. I remember 10, 15 years ago, he used to be able to get really up for a match as well. And Raymond van Barneveld was one of the players he always used to be ready for.
Yeah, when he burst on the scene, as you say, about 10 years ago, I think he played Raymond van Barneveld 3 times on television in 1 calendar year and won all 3 games.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of players that can do that.
And that was at the time that Raymond was top of the world. Well, we've got Glenn Spearing here for the Republic of Ireland. A new name to me, and
well, new to me as well.
yeah, showing a little bit of inexperience, as you saw in that last shot, walking down the wrong side of the hockey, so not used to a TV stage.
43.
There we go, look.
Let's see if Marco picks up on it. I see people storming past us, so there's other people that did see it.
We're not going to miss a dart here, are we?
Oh, that's nice. On your first match on this stage and then produce a 180.
That's what Martin Atkins has been doing in the first match. And is that in the treble or just below? This looks good.
120.
Nearly gave the perfect answer. But as far as the match is concerned, I'd like to see Mr. Spearing here get the leg on the board and keep it tight in the early stages. So important for the Republic of Ireland.
Well, there's a couple of things we do know about Glenn. He's from Dublin. And he's nicknamed the Honeymaker. So does he keep bees, you think? Or is he just a sweet guy?
Oh, I was going to say that would have been sweet if that had gone in.
140. England to require 40.
Well, this man they call the Assassin. Looking to kill this one off. In and out. Well, firing blanks there, Martin Atkins.
A bit unlucky there. I think that second one was in. But a great chance for the Republic of Ireland to level this match.
These are the ones you've got to take, 7-7.
Yeah, that's game shot in the fourth line for Ireland.
First two darts were not very close, but the last one did come in. And
I'm sending Dieter away. I just want to have a chat about Glenn Durrant, if I may, in the next leg.
From Ireland, Jason Barry.
The good news is we're going to bring Dieter Hedman in for some commentary very shortly. But before we do that, must mention Glenn Durrant. As I said, the form that we've seen, we saw him in the World Masters a couple of occasions, reaching the last 16, the quarterfinals, saw what a good player he is. He's just started now to get out there on the international circuit and had a fantastic victory in the England Classic in September, one of the biggest opens in the BDO system. And I think that could just set his career off now. He's a winner, he feels good, he's a very emotional player, very passionate. You see it here, even if you see him after this leg, win or lose, how much it means to him to be up there.
I saw him before this match and he was practicing with the other players to get ready for this, and all the other players were reassuring him, you'll be all right, you'll be good, don't worry about it.
It really means the world to him.
Yes, but they're taking him in. They're not letting him swim on his own.
Yeah.
They're just comforting him
Absolutely.
and saying, well, you're good enough to be in the England team. You're good enough to win.
He and James Wilson are so fortunate to be surrounded by so much experience with those other four guys. And there are experienced players not even in this squad. You know, when we move up to the 13-man squad, you've got the likes of Stephen Bunting, the current World Master and BDO #1. You've got the great Martin Adams. You know, people like that you can turn to. That's the nice thing for these England boys. I think that may have affected the Dutch ladies yesterday. That they were three great talents, but there was no experience around them.
No. Choices you have to make. As a team coach, the Dutch ladies do have a fourth lady with them, Karen Krappen. But the coach decided not to put her into the squad. But maybe tomorrow, you never know.
I think the biggest battle that Glenn Durrant faces is not to try too hard. I've spoken to him in the past year. When he's been at the winning position in legs, I always term it as like an athlete running through the line rather than dipping for it. What Glenn tends to do is overthink the double. And in this format, he can't afford to do that. He's just got to keep it clean and not overthink it.
And he's playing Jason Berry, who does have some experience on the big stages.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he has played in front of the cameras.
Yeah, we've seen him at the World Grand Prix, haven't we?
Yeah. And it's 2-all, so it's everything to play for.
Yeah.
And what the Irish need is some momentum. If they can start really believing that they can get a result here,
41.
then they might.
And you sense that these two have gone up there knowing in the early stages what a big leg of darts this is. Switching here, Glenn. He's finding that treble 19. Brilliant darts.
34.
Leaves him a handy finish.
Barry needs some trebles now.
83. England to require 117.
This is just a start that Glenn would have wanted. He's got 6 darts for this finish, so he's not under pressure to take the double.
But it does give him time to think about it.
Don't put him off,
That's
Jacques.
something you didn't like, did you?
95.
Yeah, it was in the treble 7. Maybe Glenn thought he was in the single. I think Glenn thought he had 90 left, but a closer look, Marco picked out the treble 7.
42.
So he's going to come back for double 11.
22.
He's thinking about, what did I do?
Yeah. Yeah, Marco's telling him he hit the treble 7. Yeah. Yeah, you can see what happened there. He wanted 117, 20 left 97. He thought 7 left 90. It was actually the treble 7 that left 76. He hit the treble 18. It leaves double 11. 3 for double 4. So double 4 to put all that to one side and get a leg on the board. Lovely. Well done, Glenn Durrant. And as I say, look at the reaction there. Look at what it means. One leg there, look.
I also look over my right shoulder and see the England team, and they're reacting as well.
Yeah.
And talking about England team, we're going to do a little switch around here in the commentary box as well. We're going to say goodbye to Richard for now.
I was hoping that me getting off the stool wouldn't be on camera, but I'm afraid it is.
Oops. And it's a great privilege to welcome Dieter Hatman into our commentary booth. Welcome, Dieter.
Thank you.
Ladies played yesterday.
Oh, yes.
You did really well, didn't you? 9-0, 8-1.
I know England ladies are a little bit special, aren't they? So.
Did you think it was going to be that easy?
No, not really. No, because we travelled here yesterday and we were rushing and everything to get here to play. So it just shows you the strength of England ladies, really. And we've still got a few more following behind us. Honestly, there is some very very good youngsters coming through.
Yeah, because for this tournament, the England ladies seem to have picked a very experienced squad. Not a lot of youth yet.
No, but the youth are on our tails. They're clipping away. I mean, for example, young lady Fallon Sharrock, Zoe Jones, Natasha Heaves, and just to name a few.
Well, we're at the moment,
Okay.
of course, also watching the England and Republic of Ireland match. England 3-2 up. Scott Wade's starting off with a 180.
Oh yes, Scott Wade. He's so experienced, very good player, and obviously just winning the World Championship. He's full of confidence.
England won the first match 18-7.
Yes.
They're playing the Republic now. Can you see any problems for them in this match?
There shouldn't be. I say that because I know darts is on the day, and it doesn't matter how good you are. Sometimes, you can have these little blips because it's just one leg. And I must say, when I first played in the Six Nations, I thought, oh my God, it's straight off. And it's all experience, but no, there shouldn't be any bother. So, I mean, Scott won his first one with a 1-4-4 finish, and obviously he's back on so quickly. The adrenaline is still going, so it's really great.
He's on for the bullseye as well for the 135 now.
Oh.
Just outside.
I know they've got a little thing going with the boys to see who can do the ice finish.
Oh, okay.
As they always do. That's what keeps them going, They have.
Well, look at this.
Fantastic.
Glenn Spearing, a 101 finish, brings Ireland to 3-all against England.
But then that's how England likes it. I think sometimes if you run away with it, you get complacent. Whereas if you're on the pressure, it shows you what you can,
Well, I'm talking to probably the most experienced dart player that is in the venue at the moment. Dieter, you've been around so long.
Oh, don't tell me.
Oh, I have to. What has changed during the year? What are the big changes that have happened over the last couple of years? Because you used to be the number 1 in the world in the mid-90s.
Yes.
You took a little bit of time off.
Yes.
You came back. You're top of the world again.
It's probably because I had such a long break. And in fairness, at the time, without going into finer details, there was a few things, so I just needed to get away. And plus, I've been working nights for the last 16 years as well, so it's very difficult to dedicate yourself to something that you thoroughly enjoy. And now that I'm settled in my job, then I've nothing to lose, really.
But you make it look so easy because you used to win international tournaments in your first spurt. Take some time off, you come back, and straight again, you're winning every tournament again nearly. Well, not everyone, but a lot of them.
Yeah, I just go out there and just enjoy the game. That's all I really do. I just enjoy it, and I don't worry about anything. I just look at it, been there, done it, got the T-shirt. I know it's just a cliche, but it's just, I do enjoy playing so much.
Is that the big difference then for Lakeside? Because we have to talk about Lakeside as well.
I thought you might.
That's the only one you're missing. Is that because you haven't won that one yet? Because the comfort isn't there?
Probably. And when you haven't won something and you want it so desperately, sometimes you can want it too much. And in fairness, if I'm being honest with you, the only ladies who have won Lakeside has been ladies that only play darts for a living. No, right up. Because Trina just plays darts for a living, Anna plays darts for a living, and Francis.
We're going to have a look at Jason Berry because he started off with 2 180s in this leg. Oh, we're going to see something really, really special here.
Oh, that would be.
He hits a treble 20, goes down.
Oh, he got excited there.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. I've never done it.
But you've got to be thinking about it once you hit that 7 treble.
Yes, and especially 6Nation, and you're up there in front of brilliant darts.
He gets a round of applause from everyone, of course.
That's right, yeah. Oh, poor Martin won't give up. He's a fighter, Martin Atkins.
And we've got a genuine battle here between England and Ireland because it's
Yes.
3-3 now. If Jason hits this 63, Ireland are going to take the lead.
No, don't worry, our boys won't let them keep it for long.
I'm not going to get you off this eye, am I?
No. He's probably still thinking about that 9-darter. I hope he doesn't come back, Martin.
Well, we've seen it a lot of time, haven't we? Some player starting off 2 180s, and then because it's in your head, they can't finish the leg off.
No. That happens quite regularly. He
does.
it, yeah, good dart.
A very well-deserved leg to Ireland.
Yes.
7 darts on his way to a 9-darter. That's always a great thing. How far did you get on the 9-darter?
I did the first 7, and then like he did with the treble 19.
Started thinking about it.
And that wasn't even in a game, that was just practicing. So I would dread to think what I would be like if I was playing a game and actually get the 7. But I would like to do it before my time's up anyway. So
Well, people always say to me, if there's one lady or one out of a couple of ladies who can do it, it's you.
yes, I know I'm capable. At the moment, a young lady, Anastasia, she's playing awesome because we have the system. I don't know if you have the same in Holland where we play county. And last county game, Anna had a 31-31. And she had 2 180s back to back. I know, so she's been playing very, very well.
You play a lot of the international tournaments as
Yes,
well.
I do.
You like to play every weekend almost, I think,
Well,
with county and
yes,
international.
Yes, I
tournament.
do very much because I just love playing. And it's when you finish work, it's a wind down. Instead of just going to the pub, having a drink, playing darts as well as having a drink with your friends. Different people all the time. It's great.
So you're going to be playing a lot of tournaments as well in 2013.
Yes, my diary's already full. I just want to see where I can have a break with Paul.
We're going to turn our attention to the match and have a look at Glenn Durrant,
Yes.
who's making his debut.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about Glenn?
Oh, Glenn, he's a lovely guy, actually. I met Glenn really last year for the first time. It's all right, she's getting her own back on me. I mean, Glenn and a young lady called Claire Stainsby, they actually run a youth team in Cleveland with the help of Claire's partner. He'll kill me because I've just forgotten his name.
Tony?
Tony. Sorry, Tony. But they do dedicate it to the youth. They are they're just so dedicated all the time. And on Facebook, Claire and Glenn is always on there about the youth. You must be here, you must be there. But yeah, they are. And I mean, Sean's been around a long time as well, Sean McGowan. He's nearly as old as me.
Well, that's what we say. There's no Nations Cup or anything without Sean, is there?
No.
He's been around for a long time.
Yeah. He himself, like me, he's been there, done it, got the T-shirt, if you like. And I think he's just enjoying the game
Very
now.
consistent playing as well.
Extremely, extremely. So, but I know Glenn, he's so been looking forward to this. He really has.
Because we've got a lot of viewers from England, of course, and from Ireland, but we've also got a lot of viewers from different countries around the world. It is very hard to get into the England team, isn't it?
Oh, it is so hard. So when you get in there, you try and grab it and hold on to it. It's very difficult, but...
Well, he's making a good start, Glenn, because that's his second leg he's playing.
Yes.
And he's 2 for 2 so
I
far.
know.
So
we've had a little chat, and I just gave him a big hug and just said, don't worry about it, just enjoy it. Just go up there and play like any other day, because once you start thinking England, you really do get...
Because that is what you see in these team competition. Everyone's helping the others out, isn't it?
Yes.
It is really a team.
And we are a little family, actually. We are a little family. Everybody really help each other to get over and get up there and give your 100%.
So, are you the mummy of the family?
Well, actually, I am. I'm older than all of them. I could be the grandmother, not quite.
Well, you're always so kind to everyone, so you are a bit like
I tried to be.
Yeah.
I tried to be,
Coming back to your matches, yesterday 9-0, 8-1, but tomorrow it's a new day in the semi-finals. You're playing Holland in the semi-final. Any special preparations for that one, or are you just going in like you did yesterday?
Yeah, it will be the same as it was yesterday. And I know the Dutch girl last night, they struggled a bit, didn't they? They got through, but I know when they play England, they will be up for it, because I've yet to play a team that's not up for it against England. So,
is it an advantage to play for your home crowd, or is it extra pressure?
No, I think it is an advantage to play in front of your own country, because it just lifts you. It really does lift you. So, yeah, it is an advantage to you guys.
So it's going to be a very tough match tomorrow.
It will be a tough match. And if the girls play like I do know they can, because I do see them quite regularly. So, and I do know how they can play, because Sharon was at Lakeside this year, and Karen's been at Lakeside. Eileen, she's an awesome player, isn't she? She's very, very much. And Flirty, as I've been back the last few years, it was the first time I met Flirty, and I know she's very, very good. So, yeah, you have a fantastic team that will come through.
So, but still, a prediction for tomorrow. Which team is going to lift the trophy in the ladies?
Well, I've got to say England.
I had a funny feeling you were going to say that. And quite rightfully so. You've won it twice already. Wales has won it once. Yesterday against Wales. Wales didn't...
Well, no. I think we handled the travelling a little bit better than Wales, because we were all on the same coach. So there was no advantage to either of us. It just all goes up there and did the job. So it was great.
Okay. We're going to look at the finish of this leg. It's 4-all, so the pressure is on the captain of England.
Now Tony knows where it's at.
118. Let's see if he gets a treble.
Ooh.
58.
Because if he doesn't, it's Cherry McNulty, 18 and tops, to give Ireland a 5-4 lead.
Yes, how he's got it. I think he knew he had to get it. And look
at this, I'm being joined by all the England ladies now. Well, she hasn't said anything wrong, has she?
It's all right, I send them to bed early. Otherwise they have to answer to me.
Very successful so far, ladies. Only one leg that you generally gave to the opponents, and
my little note is England team is fantastic. I didn't need to tell me that, I was going to say it. And we are.
Well, you're going to be up against.
She's getting her own back on me.
Yesterday Trina was in with us and you slipped the notes, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. It's my turn to plug the LDO reel, the Ladies Darts Organisation. I haven't forgotten you girls out there.
Well, good luck tomorrow, ladies. But not too much.
Gary Thompson, Mr. Armchair. And Joe Cullen. He was at the World Championship this year. He played Martin Atkin. Plays fantastic. He beat Martin 3-1. And really, the second round, he just didn't turn up. I think the first round, he played so well that it can take it out of you for the first time.
Maybe you put a bit too much pressure on yourself after such a good first round. You're thinking, second round, I want to be even better. And
yes.
And when you don't get going then in the beginning of the match.
No. And I must admit, we all do it. We all do it, to be honest with you. I mean, for me this year when I got drawn Lisa, I thought, oh no. Because she's so good, Lisa. She's so good. And in fairness, if Lisa did the tour, I would be struggling to be world's number one because she's so fast and furious. But I'm glad she don't do the tour. But Gary's a bit behind in this one. You're never quite sure what Gary's going to do sometimes.
He's been playing very well up until now.
Yeah. But with one leg, that's what I'm saying. It's straight from the off. And if you're not straight from the off, you're just hoping your opponent isn't. But
then it was Joe who started, or Jason, I must say, who started this leg, and after 15 he's on 40. So
yeah. Very good.
And Ireland, I must say, are making a real match out of this one.
I know, I was just looking at it and I'm thinking after I finish commenting here, I will go and give the boys a bit of a boost because...
Well, we've had 10 legs. Every player's played twice.
Yes.
England 4, Republic of Ireland 6.
It's all right, we'll pull it back. It's got a long way to go. It's 25 legs.
You've got endless fate, haven't you?
I do. I know my players because they know if they don't, they have to answer to me. No, they will bring it back. They just getting warmed up, and it's a long day as well. So
okay. Well, Dida, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining us and giving your insights into the match. And good luck tomorrow on the match.
Thank you very much for having me, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
It's England to throw first. Game on. One and one.
Well, back to the stage where we have got a real fight here. England and the Republic. Ireland playing really well so far and taking the chances when they get them. And that is the key in these matches. When you get the chances, you have to take them. Well, Glenn Durrant so far 2 for 2. He's won both of his legs, so he has done his part in this match. McNulty, he lost to Gary Thompson in his first leg, but beat Tony O'Shea in his second. And you can feel the buzz in the arena. People starting to think, whoa, there might be something happening here. Dieter has left us for this time, and Simon, you've joined us now. You've watched the match from the back room, I'd say.
Yes, yes.
And what are your views on this one?
Well, it's a close game at this moment, and it's great to see that the English have some competition on their hand, and that's great for the competition as it is. But it's also great for the Irish to perform as well as they do.
A great 180 by Glenn Durrant. Puts him on 42 after 12 darts. Looking for double 16 to close the gap, and he does. Well, he's been doing great so far on his debut. 3 legs he's played in, he's won all 3 of them, so he's responsible for more than half the England points at the moment.
Well, it's a great performance by Glenn, but the newcomers are doing their thing and they are playing well, like the Dutch and also the English guy. Doing great.
It's time for Tony O'Shea now. He's the more experienced player.
Captain.
0 for 2 so far in this match.
Yeah.
So he needs to do his thing now.
He has to do his business at this moment, and well, he's first time captain of the English squad. It's also important to, well, keep up the darts and take your fellow darts players to a new level. But at this moment he is struggling, I think.
Well, like we said on forehand in this match, if you want to have a really close match, a really good match, it's all up to Ireland. They have to take the chances if they get them, and so far it's exactly what they've done.
Yeah, indeed. And that's all about this game. You have to hit your doubles. If you've got an opportunity, you have to take it. And the Irish are doing that, taking the opportunities, hitting their doubles when it counts. And well, now it's Jason Cullen for Ireland. Not finding the troubles, Tony is.
Not as easy as they did in the first match against Northern Ireland. A bit more pressure maybe also coming to the England team for this match.
Tony has to hit a big score at this moment because he's a long way behind.
The advantage in this leg still with Ireland. And with a ton, he keeps the advantage going. So O'Shea, 140, would put some pressure on Cullen. That's exactly what he does.
Do you watch it a lot, darts, Jacques?
Cullen, though, tops.
Oh,
Thought it was in the treble.
Below.
No, it is in. Don't know what he did with that second dart because I thought that came out of the treble as well. But he takes out a nifty 100 finish. And again, Ireland.
2 legs difference. It's great.
And we're at the halfway point now, so it is a match.
It is England's got a match on their hands, and they have to perform. They have to produce the darts at this moment because.
Well, Richard said to me when he was sitting here at the beginning of this match, he said, "I don't think I'll be going up on stage 11-1 on the scoreboard." He said, "I think England will win 2," jokingly. Well, they haven't won a lot more than that, have they? It's 7-5. I don't think anyone predicted this.
No. Well, it's an unpredictable game, this format. And as we talked about earlier, it's a very difficult one to produce your darts in just one leg. And if there isn't a flow within the team, it's very difficult to turn it around and to produce the darts when it counts.
If we look into our crystal ball a little bit, let's say Ireland beats England. That would mean probably that Ireland's going to be number 1 in this group.
Probably, yeah.
Does Holland want to be first in their group then?
At this moment, when I talk to the Dutch guys, it doesn't matter who they get in the next or in the semis. They want to win from everybody. And England, it's a great game to win against, and they want to play England. Probably in a final.
Rather in the final than the semi-final.
They have to win from England. Then it counts if you become champion. That's an old rivalry. 59. We saw it in the Europe Cup in Turkey this year. 2 great squads 81. Getting head-to-head. But Ireland is throwing well.
I love the approach of the Irish for this match. They're really sticking together and pushing it one another on. If one of the teammates loses a leg, they quickly embrace him and say it's no problem, we'll take it as a team. And that's what you need to do.
Well, you have to stick together as a team in this format. You can lift your game being a team. And well, we've seen the Dutch guys. They all 2 days now. They meet each other. They as a team they do things, and there's no one's outside of the team. All 6 are together.
I know, but I always say that's easy to be a good team when you're winning. It's when things are not going your way, that's when you really find out how the team spirit is. And I think maybe England are getting a test of that now.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think the Dutch will.
Forever the optimist.
127. England requires 60.
Putting some pressure on Gary.
40.
And he is missing. You can see England is under pressure now.
They're struggling.
To make the gap 3 legs, he needs double 8 for the first time in the match. The gap is 3 legs. They're not missing the Irish.
Taking their chances there. That's a very good thing.
And I'm just looking to my right where I can see the England team. And I do see some worried looks on their faces right now. I don't think they...
Well, it's a big difference compared to the first game when they were shouting out and rooting for each other.
Again,
and
easy when you're winning.
Yeah, that's true.
But now they need to get it together. And who better to have playing for you than the world champion?
Scott Waits.
Scott Waits. He'll be taking on Jason Berry.
Dutch Open champion, Lakeside champion. Well, he's on form.
Let me remind you all that during the course of this tournament, the Windmill 6 Nations Cup here in Texel, you can talk to us, talk with us, use Twitter. The hashtag 6NationsDarts is where you can lay down all your questions to us. And we're going to be answering a couple of those questions in the next legs. Good score from Jason Berry, who has got the darts against Scott Wade.
140.
And they are 2 breaks ahead. This could be the biggest upset we've had in a long time in the Nations Cup.
140.
Well, Jason is producing his darts.
And the Irish will be celebrating if they win this one.
They will.
96. Ireland require 137.
137. Oh, that's unlucky.
That's a pity.
Bounced. And the world champ is on 170.
80.
England needs something special, so this might do it.
Great last dart from Jason.
Just put it into the treble 5. And that means Jason Berry can put Ireland up 9-5.
Would you believe it?
Well, they'll be ahead by as much as they need to get the victory. 4 ahead and only 4 until they win this match. He has done it. Jason Berry beats the world champion and brings Ireland to a 9-5 lead.
England's got a game on their hands. They have to win the next 2 legs, because otherwise they have a problem, a big one.
I talked to Dita Hetman just before you came, and every time I said, well, that's a leg to Ireland, that's a leg to Ireland, she said, I'm not worried, I'm not worried. I think slowly but surely they're getting worried now.
She's worrying, yeah. Well, the ladies are very quiet. We can see them sit next to us, but they're very quiet at this moment.
Well, still all to play for, though. Great England team, so if any team can come back from 4 legs down, surely it's the England team that can do it.
Well, Martin Atkins is up next.
He's got the darts. He's playing Sean McGowan. He must win this
He
leg.
has to win this. Otherwise it's almost over. Game on.
The Republic of Ireland only needs 4 more legs to pull off a great upset over England.
99.
A good start from Martin. Can Sean put some pressure on Martin? No, not at this moment.
Atkins has played 2 legs in this match so far against Glenn Spearing
93.
and against Jason Berry, and he's lost on both occasions. But we know Atkins can play so well in this format. He's proven it over the last couple of years.
Time and time again, yeah. He's a great team player.
And I just got a feeling that he's going to win this one, just because it has to be won. He's a very good player to put on that hockey then. Well, 9-5 to Ireland, and it's my time to leave you for a little bit, and I'm going to make room for the Dutch national team coach, Mr. Dennis van Onselen.
Well, Dennis, welcome. You must be a proud coach.
Yes,
Your
of
lads
course.
produced a great game.
If you think of something in front, you should try to see what it will happen in the future, and it comes out what you think. I think you should be proud.
Well, it was a great game, and we didn't expect them to go 9-0 up.
No, it was fantastic. Of course, I know what the guys can do. The top of Holland, I'm talking from my mind and my heart now. Top of Holland is also top of the world, let's be honest. They just proved it.
Well, Martin Atkins is producing the darts for England, getting 1 leg back, but still 3 behind.
Yep.
It's an upset in the making over here.
Yeah, Yeah, and let's be honest, Republic of Ireland surprises me at this moment at this game. If you lead to England, oh, you play good games.
Yeah, that's great. But back to Holland, they did a marvelous job. Dennis de Kloeze, new to the Dutch side.
Yep.
He played some great darts.
Yep. His skills in darts are great. He didn't know it yet, but now we told him. So, well, he's progressing very good. He's even playing better now than in the national ranking system. And players that know him see what he's doing. And players that doesn't know him just say, where does he come from?
Well, that's a comment made by foreign players.
Absolutely.
Almost every time we produce a Dutch side. Yeah. Where are these guys coming from?
Yes, this country has so much talent in darts. It's incredible. If you look at the youth system, how much talent is producing there, and a few years later they come through in the adult circuit, and that's very good.
Well, we've got some youngsters coming up the system at this moment.
Yeah.
Jeffrey de Swaan,
yes.
Jimi Hendrix just played his first year in the seniors, and he's going to Lakeside. That's great.
I think that's why we are both smiling, because future in darts in Holland is great, very good.
It's very good. Well, back to the match of this morning. Remco also played very well.
Yep.
And Rick Hofstra, he produced some darts.
Rick is one of the stable and easy guys in the team. He's just 35, but he has experience for someone who's about 40, 50, whatever. It's great. He's doing a good job, and the way he speaks with the rest of the team gives him somewhat of a leadership. No one will want to recognize it, but it's true.
Yeah. It's a silent guy, but he's producing darts.
Yeah.
Well, back to the game. Ireland, possibility to go 4 legs up again.
Yep.
Just outside, but he will be back.
Misses, yeah. But he'll be back. 182 is no finish. The only thing Thompson can do is get it down as much as possible.
Ooh. Double 4.
8. England require 82.
England really needs this. Bullseye.
Yeah. And he does it.
And you hear the English players, men and ladies. That's a relief to get that leg under their belt.
Yep.
Instead of 4 legs difference, it's only 2 legs difference, and that is a world of difference in this kind of game. Because this format is very hard for the players, I think.
Yes, absolutely. You play one leg, and you have to give it all in one leg. Let's say for the good players, it's 12 till 15 darts. You should finish. If you don't, you lose the leg. And you don't get any time to get on with your game, to get into your game, to get into your speed. It's not possible. It's one leg, and then you're off again.
Is that a thing that you reckon with when you make your squad for this event?
You should, of course, take in consideration that if you have a player that has to get on to his normal working temperature, and he needs the game for that, the tension in the game, and the scores of your opponent. If you need that to get warmed up, then you have a problem. Yep. And it could be a reason if you have 2 equal players and one has that problem and the other one hasn't, then it's, of course, that's the way to choose.
And we've got a question from one of our viewers who asked, why isn't Jan Dekker playing in that first game?
100.
I spoke with Jan and I explained to him what my thoughts were. And I got to be honest, with all respect for every team that's here, I think against Wales our problems would be less than against Scotland. And what I want to do with this squad is to build up in strength. So I did not took the weakest player out. Weakest is a dumb word because there's no weak player in this team, but it means you can increase in strength at the next game. So I wanted to give Scotland something to think about, and I think that works if you win 21-4.
Well, a winning coach is always right.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yes. Well, if you've got some questions for Dennis, you can ask him now on Twitter. Use @NDB_darts or hashtag 6Nations_darts. And we ask the questions to Dennis van Onselen, the coach from the England or the Dutch men's team. England
on a double. And he took it.
Well, they're producing the darts at this moment, and they needed that. They're still one leg behind, but a few moments ago it was four legs difference. And now it's Martin Atkins against Terry McNulty. The darts are with Terry. Well, a lot of viewers on our stream. We've seen tweets from Bobby George, Mieke de Boer, John Boy Walton, and lots of others. Great guys that you're following us and make your comments on @NDB_darts. Important leg for Ireland, I think, Dennis.
Yep. This makes such a big difference. If you go to 10-8 or if it's going to be 8-8. If it gets to be 8-8, I think England is trying to get the knockout into the team of the Republic of Ireland.
Well, it's also a mental game, this.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I spoke this morning with a journalist of the newspaper in the north of Holland. She asked me which time do you must play. I told her that the play was already in progress. She said, no one is on stage. That's true, but the play is in progress already. You start playing with your opponents, your future opponents, at the practice board. That's where you start. And if you produce magnificent darts over there, you give away an impression.
Yep, that's true. Well, the Irish are struggling a bit.
Yeah. The pressure is getting on now.
The momentum is all swinging to England at this moment.
100.
And experience will tell.
Yep. Atkins is a magnificent player and experienced enough to take this out.
And not a shutout for McNulty. So 6 darts for Martin to take this leg.
100.
And he will be coming back for double 20.
High.
Tops for Martin to square it all out. There it is.
Yeah, 9-all.
Well, the Irish have a game on their hands now. It's a big question if they can produce the darts in the second half of the game. But what are your thoughts about England, their squad? There's also a new guy in there, Glenn, but he's producing some nice darts in the 2 games. Do you know this guy?
Yeah. And this whole English squad, if you look at it, it's absolutely top class. It's world class. If you want to win from those guys, you got to be prepared and you got to do the best you can. If you don't, they'll hang you up.
You can't make any mistakes.
No, absolutely not. You can maybe miss your double once, and then you got to take it out if you get a second chance. If you don't take it out, it's gone.
But that was a great strength of the Dutch guys in the
Absolutely.
first match. The first or second dart was in the double.
Yes, we gave a lot of attention to stay focused and pick your double. attack your double. Don't be scared, just attack it.
Yep.
There are some doubles that a player doesn't want to play. Double 19 for instance, because you can't follow up. That's what I'm telling. The first dart should be played in an attack mode. Go for the double. If you throw a 1-19, you can correct and still finish the leg. If you throw it outside, you must produce a double.
Yep.
And that's the extra pressure you give yourself. So don't do that. Do it with the first dart. Attack it. Come on. If it's a single, doesn't matter.
Well, these are some great insights from the coach of the Dutchman, Dennis van Onselen. And Tony O'Shea on the hockey. A little bit behind.
Such a tremendous player is O'Shea. And for so long already.
Yeah. Well, still has to win his first leg.
Yep.
But the English won 4 legs on the trot now. And Tony's got the throw to make it 5 legs on the trot.
And if I look at the scoreboard, Tony didn't win one of his legs until now.
No.
That's amazing.
43.
I think he doesn't like that.
No. He was shouting out here at the practice board for his fellow dart players. He wants this bad.
Absolutely.
First time as a captain.
Yep. The word the English are using as the captain is skipper.
Yep.
It's the word that Mervyn King gave to Martin Adams. And that stayed in there.
Look at Tony. He's enjoying that.
Yeah. His first win.
First win and a edge in front. 10 legs between 9. So the Irish have to stop the rod. They need to win now.
Yeah. The English squad is really turning up the heat now.
Yeah. And Glenn Durrant is next. And he won all his legs up to now. So he's in the mood.
He's one of the new players. A very good player. Very stable. Very good tactics. If you see the moving of his arm, the moving of the wrist, it's so calm and so cool. If his head stays cool, he's one of the most dangerous players at the squad now.
And Dennis, when there's a game on of the Dutch team and you as a coach, what can you do to turn things around? Is there a possibility for you as a coach
Absolutely.
to do some things?
Absolutely. And I made quite a study of it to know how a player moves his arm, how he throws his dart. And then I think about the speed, the moment that he lets go of the dart. Every single point in the movement is very, very interesting. And if he moves one of those things to a different side, that means that if you have, if you take 1 centimeter difference in your hand, it's about 5 to 6 centimeters at the board. So you miss everything. And that's the task, I think, of a good coach. He has to see what goes wrong and tell his player to keep his speed or let go of the dart a little bit earlier or a little bit later. You can see the flight of the dart. If it's shaky, he's too late. And if it is too early, he goes too high. And a player just doesn't know what goes wrong if he's playing. And if you can tell him that, you have quite something to add to his result. And that's the only thing you can do. You can't do anything else. You can get him easy, you get him stay cool, stay focused. But if he doesn't do that, you don't know. You can't see in his head, but you can see what the dart is doing.
Well, you can't tell them play better, but you have to adjust the way they are
That
playing.
doesn't work.
No.
Anybody can say from a big one now. That's not coaching.
No.
Coaching is knowing the style of the player and try to correct anything he does otherwise. No, he does different than otherwise. And that's difficult enough because you have to know the style of the player, in and out.
Yep.
And of course, there's a whole lot of psychology in the dart players, in the darts game.
Well, we were talking about that this morning, that the team spirit is also a very important thing.
Yep.
You can help each other playing
Absolutely.
well. You can help each other the way down by not helping each other. Is there a thing you can do about that?
Yeah, absolutely. But then it's more psychologic. You have to talk with your team. You have to know the ins and outs in the private sector. I can't talk about that, of course, but I know a lot of them. Why? Because I have a lot of contact with them. Nobody knows that, but they call me. They tell me if something wrong. I know if one of them is ill. I know if the partner is ill, and if it's something to be worried about. Because that's something I have to take along in the game. Not by everybody, but I have to try to get that player at ease.
Yeah. Well, Glenn is on double 2.
Yes.
6th leg on the trot for England. Edging 2 legs to Ireland, who lost it a little bit. And for Ireland, they have to do their business at this moment.
What you see in the English team is that they are so good in this game. They're so experienced, the 5 of them. Maybe one more than another, but they learn from each other during the game. And there's not much to learn, just experience. They can all throw magnificent darts. And if necessary, and it was necessary a few legs ago, then they just open the gasket and the engine starts running. That's what they do.
But what do you think is the difference between an England team and a Dutch team? Are there differences?
Yes, there are. And with all respect, I won't give away all my secrets. But
please don't.
No, I don't want to do that. But yes, well, I think we have different points of attention in the team manager squad in Holland than in England. I think we stand a whole lot closer to the team, to the guys that play. And what I told you, they tell me their private problems. I think not every player in every country is doing that with his team manager. You gotta have a whole lot of confidence that it stays private.
Well, sometimes it looks like the Dutch are more of a team together than the English are.
Yes.
But at this moment, the English are producing their darts.
Yeah, very good.
Aren't you, Tony?
Hi, Tony.
Hello. 140.
He's such a nice man, this Tony.
And at this moment, he's enjoying himself. But first part of the match, he didn't enjoy it at all.
No. Yes, the team spirit is absolutely important. And if your team is bigger, it's 4 men, then it's quite easy. If it's 5, it gets difficult. If it's 8, it's almost impossible. But you must try to get the team spirit up, because if they stand behind each other, it's not so bad to lose a leg. No. You come back and you get support from your team members, so you can reset and start again.
Well, you wish the English won't find out that team spirit.
No.
Because they would be unbeatable, I think.
Yes, with their power, their scoring powers, their finishes.
Their experience.
Yeah, experience, mentality. Let's be honest, they're fighters, all of them. They just, what I think is, if someone finds the points on the eye, that's what we say in Holland, then it's done.
Well, double 16 for Scott.
Yeah.
To go to 1 leg for the win. Double 8.
13 is a win, huh?
13 is a win, so.
Yeah.
There it is. England needs 1 more leg to also win their second game and go on to the semi-finals.
Yeah. And everything I said until now, of course, is with all respect to every team coach over here, because they're all magnificent teams. And they're all coaches that are trying to do their utmost to get their team there where they want them. And Peter Meldon is a terrific coach. But still, I hope he doesn't find the ice.
Well, it's also a great event for players to bring some experience to play on the stage, cameras on them, enjoying their experience like this.
If you look around, the ambience, the standards, brilliant, brilliant.
Did you talk to Dennis? Because it's first time.
Yeah, he was a bit nervous the first leg, second leg just a little bit, and then he came back to his feet and he at ease, relaxed, and started the game, and he was very good.
Yes, he produced some great darts.
Yes.
60.
Well, Tony O'Shea at the hockey once more against Jason Berry. And the Irish really need some good darts at this moment. England only need one leg for the win. And just half an hour ago we thought the Irish went to victory. 9-5 in front. And look at this now, they are 3 legs behind.
But he doesn't want to let it go.
140.
Great shot.
Dennis, a question from Paul Doets. What are the boys doing right now? Are they practicing or are they relaxing?
No, straight after the game I told them to get lunch. Because your body needs some time to process that lunch in your stomach. And that means you're using up energy. If you do it as early as possible, let's say if you have to play at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, then your body is finished with processing your food and you don't use up as much energy as you did before, an hour before. So it means you have energy left to focus, because if you have to focus to the maximum, and you have to go to the maximum, against Scotland we must go to the maximum. You use so much energy, it's almost like you're having a speed walk. And if you don't have that energy, the engine will stop.
Well, Tony sealed the win for England just now.
So to finish the question, I told him to get lunch and then relax. 1 hour before the next game, be in the practice room and take care of the temperature of your body. Get it up at maximum range.
Are they allowed to walk outside? Because it's very cold at this moment in
Texel. They are
Texel.
allowed to walk outside, but only with their coats on.
Well, next up, Glenn Durrant and Glenn Spearing.
It means England has his 13 legs, so they got to win already.
They've got 2 wins under their belt, but for the Irish it's important to win as much legs
as possible. Yes. Because both the opponents lost from England, so now it's how many legs you win if you go on as second in the group or not. And both the Irish teams, Republic and North Ireland, amazed me about the darts they're producing. They're very good, very good. Tremendous darts scene, tremendous leg scene played.
A few years back, there were teams from Ireland and Northern Ireland with 1 or 2 great players in it, but now it's 4 or 5 great players.
Yeah.
The level is increasing all over the world, I think.
Yes, but you see that true. That's all over the world. Yeah. It's getting harder and harder to get really to the top. You're a top player, but there are about 100 more in this world. So if you want to get there, you got to win from all of them.
Well, there's a World Cup coming up, but I've been to some World Cups, and you are amazed from the players from Japan and Trinidad and Tobago
Yes.
and countries like that.
Yes.
They're producing some nice darts.
And a few years ago, they weren't there.
No.
Yeah, they weren't there, but they weren't at the top. And now, well, you saw the double in Turkey, Euro Cup. 2 guys from Litauen.
Yep.
They produced some magnificent darts.
Yep.
And I really had to almost push my players up to the level they needed to win from them. And they did. But it was quite a hard game.
And the World Cup in Charlotte in America.
Yep.
The guys from Jamaica won
Yep.
a couple from Tony O'Shea and Martin Atkins at
Yes,
that moment.
yeah.
So
58. England requires 82.
level is increasing all around.
It means that the sport is growing worldwide. That's something that's very good to hear, of course.
Yep.
62.
Aye. Missed the finish.
Just missed it, but he will be back for
Yes.
20.
Yep.
And the English are cruising now.
England require 20.
The Irish are shaking their heads. Body language is telling it all.
Yep.
And that will lift up the spirit of the English to
Of
see
course.
the other ones.
Your opponent is seeing what you're doing, and that gives him extra strength. Never, ever let go. Not even with body language.
Our penultimate leg brings to the stage England.
And that starts with the youth, because they're so vulnerable at that age. If they don't produce what they want to produce, they start shaking and I'm a fool and what I'm doing here. And that's the first thing I learned them. Don't ever do that. If you throw 26, go to the board, pick up your darts, turn around and smile. And then look at your opponent. Which means that you're telling your opponent, doesn't matter, I'll get there. So you get the pressure to him back again.
Psychology.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, just 2 more legs to go. Gary Thompson and Martin Atkins for England, and Sean McGowan and Jason Cullen to play them. Sean with the darts.
30.
McGowan, a player with a very high standard. I've seen him for years, all over the world. Good player.
85.
Stable, easy.
Yeah, well, you have seen some players come and go, Dennis.
Yeah, I did. And I think I'm very privileged to have been put in a position to get that experience. Fantastic. I am very proud of a lot of people that I learned, got to know in the past years.
77.
Which I would never have met if I
that's
hadn't
true.
done this. And I learned a lot about that, also in Holland.
And you have some great Dutch players in your team, like Raymond van Barneveld, Ronald Scholtes,
Yep.
Stompie,
Yes.
Michael van Gerwen.
The list is almost endless. I don't even start.
44.
It's incredible. If I mention one, I should mention all of them.
Yeah,
and I think
that's
it's
true.
about 200 or 300 players. It's not possible.
55.
Well, we come to the closing stages of this match. Still, if you got some last questions for Dennis, you can use Twitter at NDBDarts or hashtag 6Nations darts and let us know your questions and Dennis will answer them.
60.
This is the difficult part in the match. If you already have enough legs to win this match. You got to keep up your standards. You got to keep up throwing as much as possible, and that's difficult.
Yeah, it is.
Ireland require 136.
Big finish asked.
Nope, it's not going to happen.
27.
No.
England require 40. No score. Ireland require 100.
Still a possibility for Sean.
109. It's a nice one. 90 left. Went for the bull.
23. England require 40.
Then there's a question from you from Chris
Game
Mason.
shot on the 24th leg.
Did you play yourself?
Of course. I played competition in The Hague for quite a few years now. I started in 1983.
For the final
A long way back.
to the stage for
And
England,
still
Martin
play.
Atkins.
Only
and
we
for
went
the
back
Republic of
from,
Ireland, Jason Cup.
We went back from they called it Super League. It was the highest league you could throw then. And now we're playing second league. But still with the same team. We're all old guys, and we make a night out of it. So the pressure is a bit off.
But young at heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you never played in the Dutch team yourself?
No.
No.
No, and in those early years, if you played ranking in Holland, yeah,
25th leg, it's England.
I was always,
Trophy.
let's say, within the
Game
top
on.
20 of the Dutch ranking system, but never more than that. And that was the
Needed a
period,
bit more.
yes, that was the period with Bert Vlading,
140.
Raymond van Barneveld, Rick Daniels, well, Alice Elsewaard, you can call them. Every Hague player was there. And if you wanted to be in the top 10 then,
100.
you have to play very good.
You had to produce some darts. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Mind you, you did
Yeah.
reach the Dutch national
I
team.
played in the Dutch squad in 1985. Played the Spring Cup and the Three
41.
Countries tournament. But I came into the squad together with Roland Scholten.
Yep.
Because our average on the national competition
140.
was about 27, and that were the best two averages over the whole competition. But if you see the averages which
Now.
are thrown now, well, we wouldn't be in the squad.
That's why I didn't even try.
100.
But that's the way you see how the game is evolving and
Yep.
how
Progressing.
good the players are becoming.
Yes.
How consistent
140.
and what great darts are produced.
Yes. There's another matter of measuring this. How many 9 darts did you see in 1985?
Not one.
Absolutely.
100.
How much do you see now in a year?
Ireland require
Maybe 10, 20?
121.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, this morning,
Yeah.
one of your guys produced a 9 darts in
Yes,
practice.
In practice, yes.
Benito.
81.
His stance.
England
He
require
said.
120.
And at Germany, Rick Hofstra?
Yeah. In the semi-final of the Gold Cup.
Yes.
Well, we
you
come
even see youth players producing
100.
9 darts now.
Ireland require 40.
Well, is Jason able to take the last leg and make it 15-10?
He should be.
Double 10,
30.
just outside.
It was the chance he wanted. I don't know if Atkins gives him another chance. Double
Just
5.
inside.
Yep.
And there it is. Great victory for England, 16-9.